Hello guys! Meron tayong bagong video and read with me ng Principles of Management naman po. Yung nakaraan is Principles of Tourism, yung ngayon naman is Principles of Management. So, meron nagsabi sa akin na, ayun nga, meron kasi nag-request ng Principles of Tourism na basahin ko siya, kung ano ba yung laman ng content niya. Ayun, maganda yung content niya and nagustuhan naman nung nag-request. So, ngayon, gusto ko lang magbasa ulit sa inyo about naman sa Principles of Management. So, eto siya. This is a book from my college life. Actually, pinaano lang namin to. I think bookbind yung tawag dito. Ringbind. Ay, hindi siya ringbind. It's bookbind. Ayan, kasi book siya. Yung ring kasi parang may ring-ring siya sa may side, yung dito. Ayan. Pero ito, book talaga siya. So, ang tawag sa kanya is bookbind. So, yung content niya, yung babasahin ko sa inyo. Marami siyang chapters kasi super laki ng, super haba at super laki ng book na to. So, ayan. Napakarami niyang content. List of tables, list of perspectives. Ayan, tapos hanggang chapter 20 siya. Ito na yung mga contents niya. Sisimulan ko sa part 1. The basis of global management theory and practice. Saan ko ba ito pwedeng itapon? Yan, hahawakan ko na lang siya na ganito. Ayaw kasi, baka masira. So, ayan. Management, science, theory, and practice. So, definition of management. Ito na yung definition niya or yung meaning niya. Its nature and purpose. Science or art? Managing is a science or art. The evolution of management thought. International perspective. The wisdom of Peter Drucker. Patterns of management analysis. So, ayan. Contents pala itong binabasa ko. Babasahin ko mamaya yung ano niya. Yung mismong sa chapter nila. Hanapin ko lang po. Ito, dito pala siya. Ito yung part 1. Ayan. So, ayan. Management is the process of designing and maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplish selected aims. This basic definition needs to be expanded. So, ayan. As managers, people carry out the managerial functions of planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. Management applies to any kind of organization. It applies to managers at all organizational levels. The aim of all managers is the same, to create a surplus. Managing is concerned with productivity, which implies effectiveness and efficiency. So, here are some managers you may know. Steve Jobs at Apple Computer, Bill Ford Jr. at Ford Motor Company, Scott McNealy of Sun Microsystems, Jack Welch of General Electric and his successor, Jeff Immelt, CSOS, John Chambers, and Bill Gates of Microsoft. One of the most powerful managers is George W. Bush, President of the United States. The governor of the state of California is also a manager in the United States. Some ways, so is Pope Benedict, the head of the Roman Catholic Church, one of the largest global organizations. But middle-level managers and first-line supervisors also make important contributions to the goal of their organizations. Although managed organizations, we define an organization is a group of people working together to create a surplus. In business organizations, this surplus is profit. In non-profit organizations, such as charitable organizations, it may be satisfaction of needs. Universities also create a surplus through generation and dissemination of knowledge as well as providing service to the community or society. Dito naman tayo sa the functions of management. Many scholars and managers have found that the analysis of management is facilitated by a useful and clear organization of knowledge. In studying management, therefore, it is helpful to break it down into 5 managerial functions: planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling, around which the knowledge that underlies those functions can be organized. Thus, the concepts, principles, theories, and techniques of management are grouped into these 5 functions in this book. This framework has been used and tested for many years. Although there are different ways of organizing managerial knowledge, most textbook and authors today have adopted these are a similar framework, even after experimenting at times with alternative ways of structuring knowledge. Although the emphasis in this book is on managers' tasks that pertain to designing an internal environment for performance within an organization, it must never be overlooked that managers must operate in the external environment of an enterprise as well. Clearly, managers cannot perform their tasks well unless they have an understanding of and are responsive to the many elements of the external environment: economic, technological, social, ecological, political, and ethical factors that affect their areas of operation. Moreover, many organizations now operate in different countries. Therefore, this book takes a global perspective of managing. Creative individuals greatly contribute to value creation. Therefore, entrepreneurship is discussed throughout the book. Yan. Management as an essential for any organization. Managers are charged with the responsibility of taking actions that will enable individuals to make their best contributions to group objectives. Management thus applies to small and large organizations, to profit and not to for-profit enterprises, to manufacturing as well as service industries. The term enterprise, maganda to. The term enterprise refers to a business, government agency, hospital, university, and other type of organization, since almost everything said in this book refers to business as well as non-business organizations. Effective management is the concern of the corporation president, the hospital administrator, the government first-line supervisor, the Boy Scout leader, the church bishop, the baseball manager, and the university president. Papakita ko pa muna pala yung mismong book kasi hindi to yung original na book. Kasi nga, yun nga, pinabookbind lang namin siya. Kasi nga naman, if ipapabookbind mo lang siya, super mura lang niya, nasa 258 lang. Unlike kapag bumili ka ng mismong book, I think nasa 400 plus or 400, 500 plus yung mismong book, lalo na't super kapal nito. So, ayun. Continue ko lang muna. Eto na tayo sa the goals of all managers and organizations. Non-business executives sometimes say that the aim of business managers is simple to make a profit. But profit is really only a measure of a surplus of sales receipt over expenses. For many, saan na yun? For many businesses, an important goal is the long-term increase in the value of their common stock. Michael Porter at Harvard is critical about the emphasis of shareholder value when he wrote that we lost sight of profitability at the goal and substitute shareholder value measured by stock price. This, Porter suggests, has destroyed many enterprises. In a very real sense, in all kinds of organizations, whether business or non-business, the logical and publicly desirable aim of all managers should be a surplus. Thus, manager must establish an environment in which people can accomplish group goals with the least amount of time, money, materials, and personal dissatisfaction, or in which they can achieve as much as possible of a desired goal with available resource in a non-business enterprise, such as police department as well as in units of a business that are not responsible for total business profits, such as an accounting department. Managers still have goals and should strive to accomplish them with the minimum of resources or to accomplish as much as possible with the available resources. Ayan. Ito naman tayo sa characteristics of excellent and most admired companies. Basahin ko na. In the United States, profitability is an important measure of company excellence. At times, however, other criteria are also used that frequently coincide with financial performance. In their book In Search of Excellence, Thomas Peters and Robert Waterman identified 43 companies that they regarded as excellent. In choosing the firms, they consider factors such as growth of assets and equity, average return on total capital, and similar measures. They also asked industry experts about the innovativeness of the companies. The authors identified 8 characteristics of excellent enterprises. Specifically, these firms were oriented toward action, learn about the needs of their customers, promoted managerial autonomy and entrepreneurship, achieve productivity by paying close attention to the needs of their people, were driven by a company philosophy often based on the values of their leaders, focused on the business they knew best, had a simple organization structure with a lean staff, were centralized as well as decentralized, depending on appropriate 2 years after In Search of Excellence was published. Business Week took a second look at the companies that Peters and Waterman had considered excellent. The magazine survey revealed that at least 14 of the 43 companies did not measure up very well to several of the 8 characteristics of excellence. 9 companies showed a great decline in earnings. While Peters and Waterman have been criticized in several aspects, Their methods of collecting and interpreting the data, such as extensive use of anecdotes and quotations from leaders in the field rather than using more scientific research sources. The performance review of the films indicated that success may be only transitory and that it demands continuing hard work to adapt to the changes in the environment. Ito naman tayo sa meaning ng entrepreneurship. An increasing focus on entrepreneurship as a national and organizational imperative is unmistakably clear. Entrepreneurship is seen by governments as a means to increase employment and prosperity among their populations, while organizations large and small find that entrepreneurial innovation and expansion into new markets are essential to their success and survival in increasingly competitive markets that are linked globally through sophisticated and ever-present communication technologies. Entrepreneurship is a creative progress that is centered in the notion of identifying market opportunities and unmet needs. It is building solutions that meet these needs and bring value to customers. Entrepreneurs build organizations that provide products that alleviate people's pain. Tapos, marami din siyang mga charts dito and marami ka rin na matututunan sa kanya. Mamaya sasabihin ko yung mismong title ng book kasi parang natabunan siya dun sa may likod. Ito, ang dami niyang charts. Meron dito yung socio-technical systems approach, cooperative social systems approach, group behavior approach, interpersonal behavior approach, total quality management approach, management process or operational approach. Tapos, meron din siya dito yung key ideas for review and for discussion, exercises, action steps, and internet research. Ayan. Parang yung katulad dun sa Principles of Tourism, meron siya yung mga parang pa-quiz. Yun. Meron siya yung parang mga pa-questions. Dito naman tayo sa may chapter 2, Management and Society. Ayan. Chapter 2, Management and Society, the External Environment, Social Responsibility, and Ethics. Ito, parang maganda to. Kasama dito yung ethics. Every time managers plan, they take into account the needs, wants, and desires of members of society outside the organization, as well as the needs for material and human resources, technology, and other requirements in the external environment. They apply the same procedure to some extent with almost every other kind of managerial activity. All managers, whether they operate in business, saan na ba yun? Operate in business, a government agency, a church, a charitable foundation, or a university must, in varying degrees, take into action the elements and forces of their external environment. While they may be able to do little or nothing to change these forces, they have no other alternative but to respond to them. They must identify, evaluate, and react to the forces outside the enterprise that may affect its operation. The impact of the external environment on the organization is illustrated in figure 2 to 2.1. Ito yung figure niya. Meron siyang mga figure dito or yung mga charts. Ayan. Yan yung mga charts niya. Ayan. Meron dito yung theological, organization, social, ecological, political and legal, ethical, economic. Dito naman tayo sa the technological environment. One of the most pervasive factors in the environment is technology. The term technology refers to the sum total of the knowledge we have of ways to do things. It includes inventions and techniques. And it includes the vast store of organized knowledge about everything from aerodynamics to zoology. But its main influence is on the ways of doing things, on how we design, produce, distribute, and sell goods and services. The social responsibility of managers. Medyo mabigat yung book kasi ang dami niyang content. Tapos, ang kapal niya. Ayan. Tapos, the social responsibility of managers. In the early 1990s, the mission of business firm was exclusively economic. Today, partly owing to the interdependencies of the many groups in our society, the social involvement of business has increased. As pointed out in the model of the systems approach to management, in Chapter 1, there are many stakeholders or claimants to the organization. There is indeed a question as to what the social responsibility of business really is. Moreover, the question of social responsibility, originally associated with businesses, is now being posed with increasing frequency in regard to governments, universities, non-profit foundations, charitable organizations, and even churches. Ayan, meron dito yung argument against social involvement of business. Basahin natin siya para mas maintindihan natin. The primary task of business is to maximize profit by focusing strictly on economic activities. Social involvement could reduce economic efficiency. In the final analysis, social must pay for the social involvement of business to higher pieces. Social involvement would create excessive cost for business which cannot commit its resources to social action. Ito, ethics in managing. All persons, whether in business, government, university, or any other enterprise, are concerned with ethics. In Webster's Ninth New Collegiate Dictionary, ethics is defined as the discipline dealing with what is good and bad, and with moral duty and obligation. Business ethics is concerned with truth and justice and has a variety of aspects such as the expectations of society, fair competition, advertising, public relations, social responsibility, consumer autonomy, and corporate behavior in the home country as well as abroad. Ayan. Factors that raise ethical standards. Pahinga lang muna tayo. Ang bigat lang ng book kasi nga ang super kapal niya. The two factors that raise ethical standards the most, according to the respondents in one study are, number 1, public disclosure and publicity, Number 2, the increased concern of a well-informed public. These factors are followed by government regulations and by education to raise the professionalism of business managers. Guidelines for international business ethics with a focus on China. With increased business activities in China, decision makers are in search for guidelines. Stephen wrote in with this book, 18 Rules of International Business Ethics. Becoming a top-notch player aims not only to assist managers to be ethical, but also to be successful. Although the book was written, concepts certainly have a wider application. The guides are discussed in 4 parts dealing with international business, ethics, labor conditions, justice, and virtue ethics. It is clear that those guides focus on many current issues in China, as well as in other countries. Dito naman tayo sa differing ethical standards between societies. Tapos na pala doon. Chapter 3 na pala siya. So, ito. 3 na tayo. As you can see, black and white lang siya. Kasi nga, this is only a book bind. This is only a copy na pinabook bind lang. So, ayan. Napakagaling naman nila gumawa nito, no? Kasi tingnan nyo, napakapulido ng pagkakagawa nila. And, anong tawag dito? Yung result talaga niya is magiging book talaga siya. Kapag binili mo to is 285. Tapos, kapag pinabookbind mo is 285. And then naman kapag ayan guys, we're back. Nag-stop lang yung camera ko kasi cellphone nga lang yung gamit ko. And usually, nag-i-stop siya for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, ganyan. So, dito na tayo sa may chapter 3. Ayan, meron din siyang mga charts. Kagaya sa mga previous chapter. And, nandito sa chapter 3, yung nature and purpose of international business. So, ito yung babasahin natin. Although business had been conducted on an international scale for a long time, international business gained greater visibility and importance because of the growth of large multinational corporations. International businesses engage with transactions. Wait lang, mabigat yung book. Transactions across national boundaries. These transactions include the transfer of goods, services across national boundaries. These transactions include the transfer of goods, services, technology, managerial knowledge, the capital to the other countries. The interaction of a firm with the host country can take many forms, as illustrated in Figure 3.1. One is the exportation of goods and services. Another is a licensing agreement for producing goods in another country. The company may also engage in management contracts for operating foreign companies. Still another form of interaction is a joint venture with the exportation, licensing agreement, management contracts. Ito yung chart niya. Ayan. Black and white lang siya kasi nga it's a book bind. Unlike kapag binili mo siyang book, kasi mura lang kapag book bind, nasa 285 lang. Unlike kapag yung mismong book, nasa 500 to 600 pesos siya. Next na natin is yung country alliances and economic blocks. There was a time when countries in a region were competing against one another, and they still do. But now, countries are forming regional alliances that have regions compete amongst themselves. Examples are the European Union, the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA. The Association of, saan na ba yun? The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or yung Asian, and Mercosur. So, ayun. Lipat natin siya kasi puro chart lang din yung nandito. Dito tayo sa may Korean management. Ayan. The Republic of Korean, South Korea, referred to here as Korea, has also shown remarkable economic growth, but the Asian economic crisis that began in 1997 resulted in dramatic downturn of its economy. Korean management practices are not well known. It would be incorrect to assume that Korean management is simply an extension of Japanese management. Japanese management receives a great deal of attention, partly because of the economic success of Japanese companies in the past. Tapos, it is not, although there are some cultural and structural similarities such as the dominance of powerful conglomerate companies. The Korean model has been characterized by the chaebol, a tight collusion between government and industrial conglomerates. However, Kim Young-sum, when he was the Korean president, suggested, "We need a better balance between big and small companies. We cannot just let the chaebol grow by taking over small businesses companies." Declared niya yon ng president. Kim Young-sum, the president. Ayan. Japanese management and theory. Ito naman sa Japanese management. Japan, one of the leading industrial nations in the world, has adopted managerial practices that are quite different from those of other economically advanced countries in the Western world. The discussion here deals with the common Japanese practices, lifetime employment, and consensus decision-making. Then it compares and contrasts Japanese and US managerial practices, including theory Z. In the closing section of parts 2 and 6 of this book, other managerial practices in Japan are discussed and compared with those in the United States and China. Lifetime employment. Important features of Japanese management are lifelong employment for permanent employees, related to the managerial function of staffing, great concern for the individual employee, and emphasis on seniority. I remember yung mga yung mga marks ko dito. Ayan. Yung colored pen, stabilo na ginagamit namin. Andito, minark namin yung mga meaning ng leadership, information and analysis, strategic planning, human resource development and management, process management, and customer-focused satisfaction. Favorite ko dito na subject is yung ethic. Kasi super dami ng tao, lalo na sa management, na walang ethics, ganun. Walang ethics. Naranasan ko siya. Ako yung nag-work, naranasan ko siya sa mga customer. And ako yung naging customer, naranasan ko siya sa mga staff. Dito tayo sa steps in planning. Being aware of opportunities. Although it precedes actual planning and therefore not strictly a part of the planning process, an awareness of opportunities in the external environment as well as within the organization is the real starting point for planning. All managers should take a preliminary look at possible future opportunities and see them clearly and completely. Know where their company stands in light of it can expect to gain. Setting realistic objectives depend on this awareness. Planning requires a realistic diagnosis of the opportunity situation. Ito, establishing objectives. The second step in planning is to establish objectives for the entire enterprise and then for each subordinate work unit. This is to be done for a long term, as well as the short range. Objectives specify the expected results and indicate the endpoints of what is to be done, where the primary emphasis is to be placed, and what is to be accomplished by the network of strategies and policies, procedure, rules, budgets, and programs. Ayan, katulad sa ibang chapter, it has a chart. Dito, yung chart niya is Essentials of Planning and Managing by Objectives. Ito, meron dito yung being aware of opportunities, setting objectives or goals, considering planning premises, comparing alternatives in light of or goals, so choosing an alternative, formulating supporting plans, quantifying plans by making gadgets. So, move na natin. May notes din ako dito. Ayan. Ganyan yung sulat ko. Pero, ito lang yung sulat ko kapag nagmamadali. Ayan, nasa chapter 5 na tayo. Ito. Nakikita nyo ba yung number ng ng chapter? Ayan siya sa may taas. 5 chapter. Ito siya. So, nandiyan yung number ng chapter. Ito naman, dito naman nakasaad yung the nature and purpose of strategies and policies. Ayan. So, important din to sa principles of management. The nature and purpose of strategies and policies. Strategies and policies are closely related. Both give direction. Both are the... Sandal muna ako, nagamit ako. Both affects all areas of managing. The term strategy, which is derived from the Greek words strategos, meaning general. So, ayun, di ba? Meron pa siyang Greek meaning. Tapos, dito naman tayo sa the strategic planning process. Although specific steps in the formulation of a strategy may vary, the process can be built, at least conceptually, around the key elements shown in figure 5:1 and elaborated in the following. Inputs to the organization. The various organizational inputs, including the goal inputs of the claimants, are discussed in chapter 1 and need no elaboration. Nabubulo na naman ako. So, ayan. Industry analysis. As will be pointed out later in this chapter, Michael Porter suggests that the formulation of a strategy requires the evaluation of attractiveness. So, ayan. Ito, meron din siya dito mga charts. Kompleto siya sa chart. Para din hindi ka malito, malaman mo din yung process, ganyan. Dito tayo sa, the TOES matrix. Ito, maganda rin itong TOES matrix na to eh. Today, strategy designers are aided by a number of matrices that show the relationships of critical variables such as the Boston Consulting Group's Business Portfolio Matrix, which will be discussed later. For many years, the SWOT analysis has been used to identify a company's strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Yun yung meaning ng SWOT or yung SWOT. Uulitin ko yung meaning niya. Yung SWOT minsan ginagawan din namin yun ng chart. Dinodrawingan namin siya ng chart. Ayun. Yung strength, parang pinagbaliktad lang niya yung SWOT, tapos yung toes, ganon. Parang pinagbaliktad lang niya. Tapos, ayusin ko lang camera. Ayan. Yung SWOT, ulitin ko yung meaning ng SWOT. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Ayan. Therefore, the TOS matrix has been introduced for analyzing the competitive situation of the company or even of a nation, that leads to introduce for analyzing for analyzing strategic alternative. Ito, the TOS matrix has a wider scope and a different emphasis from the business portfolio matrix. The former does not replace the latter. The TOS matrix is a conceptual framework for a systematic analysis that facilitates matching of the external threats and opportunities with the internal weaknesses and trends of the organizations. It is commonly suggested that companies should identify their strengths and weaknesses as well as the opportunities and threats in the external environment. But what is often overlooked is that combining these factors may require distinct strategic choices. To systemize these choices, the TOS matrix has been proposed, where 7 stands for threats, 0 for T stands for threats, O for opportunities, W for the weaknesses, and S for the strength. So, yung TOS matrix and yung SWOT matrix, yun nga, sabi ko sa inyo nung una, is parang magkapareho lang sila. Iniba lang nila, pinabaliktad lang nila yung mga letters. Ayan. Kadalasan itong TOS matrix na to and yung SWOT matrix na to is ginagawa namin siya ng chart para mas alam mo, hindi ka malilito sa sa pagkakasunod-sunod ng business matrix. Ayan ito yung sinasabi ko na chart. Ayan. SWOT matrix and TOS matrix. Siguro malapit na tayo sa kalahati. Hindi, siguro gagawa ko ng part 2 for this book kasi super dami, hindi ko siya matatapos. Kahit 1 hour yata, hindi ko siya matatapos. Dito tayo sa major kinds of strategies and policies. Products of services. A business exists to furnish products or services. In a very real sense, profits are merely a measure, although an important one, of how well a company serves its customers. New products of services, more than any other single factor, determine what an enterprise is or will be. The key questions in this area can be summarized as follows. Sasabihin ko yung mga key questions. What is our business? What are our business? Who are our business? What do our customers want? How much will our customers buy and at what price? Do we wish to be a product leader? What is our competitive advantage? Do we wish to develop your own new products? What advantages do we have in serving customers' needs? How should we respond to existing potential competition? How far can we go in serving customers' needs? What profits can we accept? What basic form should our strategy take? Dito na tayo sa may chapter 6. Ayan. Decision making itong si chapter 6. So, ayan, iba na naman yung aking dito, stabilo, color green naman. Dati yata, meron akong tatlong colors ng stabilo, pink yata, green, and orange. But, hindi ko gusto yung orange. Ewan ko, ba't binili ko yung orange na stabilo. So, bakit siya na medyo mainit kasi may ginagawa sila dun sa may labas. So, ayan, decision making is defined as the selection of a course of action amongst all possible alternatives. It is at the core of planning. A plan cannot be said to exist unless a decision, a commitment, or resources, direction, or reputation has been made. Until that point, there are only planning studies and analysis. Managers sometimes see decision-making as their central job because they must constantly choose what is to be done. Who is to do it? Who is to do it? And when, where, and occasionally, even how it will be, even when it is done quickly and with little thought, or when it influences action for, it is a part of planning. It is also a part of everyone's daily life. A course of action can seldom be judged alone because virtually every decision must be graded to other plans. A limiting factor is something that stands in the way of accomplishing a desired objective. Recognizing the limiting factors in a given situation makes it possible to narrow the search for alternatives to those that will overcome the limiting factors. The principle of limiting factors states that by recognizing and overcoming those factors that stand critically in the way of a goal, the best alternative course of action can be selected. Dito tayo sa cost-effectiveness analysis. An improvement on or variation of traditional marginal analysis is cost-effective. Effectiveness or cost-benefit analysis. Cost-effective analysis seeks the best ratio of benefits and costs. This means, for example, finding the least costly ways of reaching an objective or reaching an objective or getting the greatest value for a given expenditure. Ito, maganda din to. Decision making under certainty and uncertainty and risk. Virtually all decisions are made in an environment of at least some uncertainty. However, the degree will vary from relative certainty to great uncertainty. There are certain risks involved in making decisions. In a situation involving certainty, people are reasonably sure about what will happen when they make a decision. The information is available and is considered to be reliable, and the cause in a situation of uncertainty. On the other hand, people have only a major database. They do not know whether or not the data are reliable, and they are very unsure about whether or not the situation may change. Ayan. Marami ka nang matututunan sa book na ito kasi super dami niyang content. Marunong din ako na mag-doodle. Ayan o. Ito nung sinagot ko yata yung boyfriend ko. Ayan siya. Tayo na. Super kaya, nakaka-enjoy kaya na mag-doodle. Yung lettering, parang calligraphy, ganun. Super nakaka-enjoy. I think pa-proceed na to sa may chapter 7. Kasi 4 charts na tong dito. Oh, ito, sabi ko na, nasa chapter 7 na ito. Pahinga lang tayo ng konti. Tapos, sa may chapter 7, meron din siyang mga chart. Ayan. Actually, puno siya ng chart. Mas maganda to kasi kapag kapuno siya ng chart, malalaman mo yung pagkakasunod-sunod sa business, ganyan. Sa pagmamanage ng business, pagmamanage ng tawag dito, organizations, ganyan. Siguro naman naiintindihan nyo yung topic natin, it's all about management. Kaya nga principles of management kasi diba, it's all about managing a business, managing organizations, gano'n. Meron dito yung formal and informal organizations. Pahinga lang tayo saglit bago ako mag-proceed ulit. Medyo namamaos na yung boses ko kasi. Ayan, meron dito yung meaning ng formal organization and yung informal organization. Magkahiwalay sila. So, yun yung babasahin natin. Formal organization, ayan, medyo maingay na sa labas kasi may ginagawa silang bahay. In this book, generally, formal organization means the international stature of roles in a formally organized enterprise. Describing an organization as formal, however, does not mean there is anything inherently inflexible or unduly confining about it. If a manager is to organize well, the structure must furnish an environment in which individual performance, both present and future, contributes most effectively to group goals. A formal organization must be flexible. There should be room for discretion, for beneficial utilization of creative talents, and for recognition of individual likes and capacities in the most of the formal organizations. Yet individual effort in a group situation must be channelized toward group and organizational goals. Ito naman yung informal organization. Chester Barnard, author of the management classic, The Functions of the Executive, describe an informal organization as any joint personal activity without conscious joint purpose. All the contribution to joint results. It is much easier to ask for help on an organizational problem from someone you know personally, even if he or she may be in different department, than from someone you know only by a name on an organizational chart, o diba? May point siya. May point siya sa sinabi niya doon. Ulitin ko It is much easier to ask for help on an organizational problem from someone you know personally, even if he or she may be in a different department, than from someone you know only by a name on an organizational chart. O, diba? Kaya, yun yung yung pinagkaiba or difference ng formal organization and non-informal organization. Chapter 7 is all about doon, sa informal and informal organization. Tapos, gaya nga nasabi ko, meron siyang key ideas and concept for review, mga questions to answer, summary for discussion, exercises, action steps, ganon. And essay, pwede rin kayo mag-essay. Yun. And then, proceed na tayo sa chapter 8. Ayan, siguro tatapusin ko na to for this film. Hanggang chapter 8 na muna ako. Ayan. Feeling ko mag-i-snap yung camera ko, kaya hintayin ko na muna siya bago ako mag-proceed dito sa may chapter 8. Ayan, kasi yun nga, cellphone na muna yung gamit ko ngayon, guys. Kaya for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, ganyan, nag-i-stop talaga yung camera ko. Oo nga pala, yung book is color blue siya kasi ito yung pinakulay ko for book binding. Pero yung book is colorful siya, yung book talaga ng Principles of Management. Hanapin ko lang muna yung author para mas madali ninyo siyang mahanap if bibili kayo sa bookstore. I think, so ayan guys, proceed naman tayo ngayon sa may chapter 8. So ayan, departmentation by enterprise function. Ito, i-discuss ko na sa inyo yung sa may chart. Ayan, kung paano ba yung pagkakasunod-sunod niya, okay? Ayan, itong chapter 8 is yung organization structure or departmentation. So as you can see, ito yung chart niya. Ito, we have president here. Under ng president, we have assistant to president and personnel. Under this, we have marketing, engineering, production, and finance. Under marketing, we have market research, marketing planning, advertising and promotion, sales administration and sales. While under engineering, we have engineering administration, preliminary design, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, hydraulic engineering, packaging, and quality control. While under production, we have production planning, industrial engineering, production engineering, purchasing, tooling, and general production. Under naman sa finance, we have financial planning, budgets, general accounting, cost accounting, statistics, and data processing. So, ayun yung chart ng dito sa chapter 8. So, sana is naintindihan nyo siya guys. Ayan, siguro, i-continue ko na lang muna itong book na ito for my part 2 kasi super mahaba na and then malapit na natin siyang makalahati. Ayan. So, wait for my part 2. Baka next week ko siya ma-release. So, ayun. Thank you sa pakikinig sa akin. Siguro, ayan. Yung title pala ng book is Principles of Management. Tapos, meron siya sa baba na ganito. Summary of major principles or guides for the managerial functions of planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. Ito siya. Meron siyang ganyan sa may baba. So, iisa lang naman yung may ganyan na meaning. Basta, kapag naghanap kayo ng principles of management, basahin nyo yung may ganon. So, ayun na po. Iko-continue ko siya. Nasa chapter 8 na tayo. So, wait for my part 2 of these principles of management. So, ayan. Super kapal niya kasi kaya hindi ko siya matapos ng isang film na. So, ayan guys. Inaalagaan ko din tong kasing book na to kasi marami ka din naman tututunan sa kanya. Kahit na graduate na ako from college, ayun. Inaaral ko pa din siya kasi magagamit ko din siya sa work. So, Sana may natutunan kayo sa aking video. I-like and share nyo naman ito sa mga naghahanap ng book of Principles of Management. And I have a previous video ng Read With Me din about naman sa Principles of Tourism. You can check it sa ating channel. At kung gusto mo pa ng mga iba pang video like makeup tutorial, makeup tips, ano pa bang makeup review, health tips, and marami pang iba, visit nyo ang aking channel at huwag nyo magkakalimutan na mag-subscribe sa ating channel. So, thank you so much guys. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless us all. Bye!